Okay, good morning. Welcome to
Math number 1138.
Family Math 1138. So we're going to take a look at a really interesting problem that I originally learned from Ole Peters. And in fact, I don't know if you're going to remember this problem. We did a project on it previously, but I just stumbled on the problem again this morning kind of by accident. So the problem is you flip a fair coin 20 times. So what does that mean?
Just flip a coin, but you just record the results for 20 flips.
Alright, what does fair mean?
It's 50-50 chance for heads or tails.
Okay. If this sequence contains at least one head sequence, I'd pay you $100. If it contains at least one head tail sequence, you pay me $100. If it contains neither, nobody wins. Alright, so I'm going to zoom out here. About here. Okay, so what are the things that can happen in this game? You can go ahead and write.
Well, let's see. So either you win, so there's a head sequence.
Alright.
There's a head tail sequence. I suppose there could be both as well.
Okay.
Or there could be neither.
Yeah, so I guess we should be clear and say only
Yeah.
after these. Alright?
So,
And what happens in these situations?
So if you get a head only, then you win $100.
I pay you 100. Yeah, so let's call that plus 100. Alright.
If there's only head tail, then you lose 100. If it's both, then you win 100 and plus, or you win and lose 100, so nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's none, then also nothing happens.
Okay, good. So those are the four situations that can happen. So we've got 20 flips. We're going to look for these sequences. I actually wrote a little very simple computer program that does it, that counts the number of these sequences and counts the number of these sequences and then figures out what's going on.
Okay.
So what do you think? What do you think is going to happen here?
I think it'll be sort of around neutral. Like, you don't really lose or gain any money, because I feel like for most scenarios you either get none or you get both.
Okay.
I feel like it'll probably be slightly skewed against you. I think you're probably going to see this more than you're going to see this.
Okay, that's interesting. What makes you think that?
Well, I mean, I think this is, even though they're equal, if you just have 4 coins, and you basically just select randomly if they're head and a tail, these have equal probabilities of showing up.
Uh-huh.
I think it's sort of harder to get this sort of in a run than it is to get this in a run, like in here.
Oh, okay. Why?
I think just because, like, if you go, like, 4 heads, you're less likely to see 4 heads in a row than 3 heads in a tail. Like, you expect to get a tail after a while,
Okay.
after getting a couple heads in a row.
All right. What do you think of that reasoning?
It seems pretty good. It seems kind of solid. But also, if you get the sequence, then if there's a tail at all in the next flips, then the other person wins as well. Because if either you just continue with heads, or you have a sequence that ends with head, tail. So even if you do win, then it's likely that the other person will win as well. I guess it'll depend where the sequence is.
Okay.
Because the only way for you to win and the other person not to win is, I think, you to have your sequence be all heads, or to have tails in, like, the first 3, or there's a couple other cases, like if you had alternating head, tail,
Mm-hmm.
or just, but you have to have the 4 heads in there, and then if there's a tail after them at all, then you're gonna be in the both category.
Okay. So what's the conclusion here? Would you play this game?
No, I don't think you would. You'd expect to lose money.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I don't think you
Alright.
should play.
All right, cool. Let's take a look at the program.